Time. I'm gonna start a a podcast. Excuse me. I'm getting ready to start my podcast, film my first few episodes that discuss where I will discuss um, living homeless, what it is like, the steps that I've taken. I'm going to go through the whole, it's about a decade. I'm going to talk about all the steps that I took, from shelters to outside to resources to how I exhausted every resource list in every city, all the cities I lived homeless in, the importance of being able to move around and relocate, the importance of being able to invest your resources in a way that even if housing is continually denied, you can still advance your life. And so that's what I'm here to teach. How can a homeless person advance their life more than people that have shelter? And that is going to be a question that people are going to wonder as life goes on. And that is why now, I made it to my destination. So now I'm willing to actually share about a 10-year journey. It's been more than a 10-year journey. It's been since 2014. But so that's a 12-year journey. But the outside part began in 2018. So that's what I'm going to focus my podcast on from 2018 until now, 2026. And so I'm actually very excited about it because only people that had a goal or had a destination or had a process for which they were particularly trying to fulfill can that emotion or feeling of fulfillment actually come through. So most people are still chasing something because they didn't have a goal, right? They didn't have anything that they wanted other than to bother somebody else. Well, they can do that for eternity, right? Someone can bother someone as long as they're living, as long as everyone's in the land of the living. So you have to design a life that can, absorb that type of whatever it is while actually advancing your own goals and your own life. It's actually a way to live in that duality. And I live in a duality like that I built. And so, I was able to design a bubble like the NBA bubble from back in the day. I was able to design a bubble in which I live in and then exist within the overall bubble. And there's times where I don't really necessarily exist in that bubble. But the thing about it is people can call in from their bubble to my individual bubble and I don't hear them, acknowledge them. It doesn't even matter. Because in my world, it's like a university. It's a world of its own where it doesn't even include them unless I desire it to. And so that's the way I built it. That's the way I built my entire life. Now, in my podcast, I'm going to discuss all the steps taken. I'm going to discuss several people's roles within this journey. And then so people might not find themselves in this because I did provide scaffolds. I did provide a lot of information. I provide a lot of information, a lot of different pathways. I taught people to critically think so that they don't get wrapped up in something that really doesn't involve them. And then have to keep their own life moving forward. And so that's, I'm actually very excited about it. I'm very excited about getting settled in here. I've been I've been in this city years, waiting to settle in, and it's just now able to happen. So I'm ready to, unfold and discuss my journey to getting here to Hollywood, Florida. How did I know I was supposed to end up here? Well, that's something I'll discuss in my podcast, but I knew where my destination was based on my own particular life, right? My life isn't based on nobody else's life. So if people are building their life it's insanity based on somebody else's life, then that's insanity, especially if it's a stranger. That means they are inadequate. That means they do not have what it actually takes to make it in life. So you have to think, if they don't have what it takes, and you know they don't have what it takes, how can I design my life because I have what it takes, right? How can I design my life to outwit them, erase them, and move on? Or at least create a way where they can always call and get a dial tone where they don't ever reach me. And so that is what I began to develop and build in my life, which gives me so much peace of mind, which gives me freedom. I'm not bound or tied to someone just because they call my name or use my identity or wrap my essence up into what they're doing. That's fine. They can do that, and they can have that. I have a whole nother identity and built. So the lives are separate, and that's how I built my life. Anyway, this is just an introduction to my podcast, because it's going to be an outdoor podcast, of course, because I live outside. Well, I live in several situations, and so it seems to be no way out of it. And so we're going to discuss that. And so as I make public the internal steps that I made in my life to switch this entire situation, then we'll see who else has something to say about it as time goes on, because they did not have to take the same route. They did not have to research and find the same resources to get through their experience, which works to my advantage. This is leverage. This is leverage to the rest of life, right? And so those who don't know that, you don't know what leverage means, Google it, get a dictionary and look up the definition of it. And so those who don't know what a dictionary is, it's a book that has a compilation of all the words in the world, right? That you can find a definition for what it means, and then you can apply it to life. So if you can get the knowledge and then apply it, well, that might say something about you. And those who can get knowledge and cannot apply it, that says something about them. And that's something that we're also going to discuss in my podcast. It's just going to be off the whim, but kind of planned, but kind of grassroots, kind of just grassroots is not the word I'm looking for. It's organic. This is an organic expression, simply because I reached my destination. And it's so many people in life that did not have a goal. So they do not understand what it means to reach a finish line. They didn't have a finish line and still don't. And so that's not my problem, though. So anyway, I built my life around it. I'll keep saying it. And I know all this time, you know, the people said, oh, she's so dumb. She's so dumb. I said, damn. I know I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb. I might take your fucking life. I might design a life that's so grand it might take your life. Since I'm so dumb, I can spend my lifetime outside doing that. I don't have a problem with it. And so as long as I wear a suit outside and y'all wear y'all sweatpants and shit inside, I think I'm setting a great trajectory for my future. And I do welcome any challenge. Come on. Oh, you want to challenge me in real life? Not through the internet, but on the internet might get you motherfucking killed. But if you want to play, come on and play. Because I built something that you don't even know about. I built something that you don't even know how I motherfucking built it. But since we're all the same, I'm inviting you to come on for the lifespan, because let's just say this is for a lifespan, right? This living situation, I can accept that. And so I'll explain how I can accept it and where my resources are and what the day-to-day process is for the rest of life. And then y'all can build y'all life around that, trying to avoid that process. I'm gonna make it to where every day you're gonna wonder, is somebody gonna pull down your empire or what you built? Because I'm gonna make people think, damn, she doing all this outside and they don't do they don't do shit. Okay, oh, they might go do something time and time again, but they're really not doing anything to move society forward. But they are good place fillers. It's like the news. It's good to just turn on the news. It's the same thing for all eternity. That's fine. So if you want to be a part of a news channel, or you want to build a news channel where you can just jump in and out, that's actually a great road to life, until it interferes with somebody else's life. And then it might cause you to lose your life if you can't adjust. I'm not going to talk about the ignorance of all this, but what I can do is demonstrate it. I can't demonstrate the ignorance of it. This is why I know y'all said I was stupid, but if you just go back and replay everything that I put on the internet in the last decade, I mean, damn, it just looks like they just filled in the blank. They filled my life with my experiences in with their life, but that's fine. So the good thing about that is I wanted to help build the world anyway. So now that everyone is doing better than they were before they knew me, because before they knew me, they were kind of trash. Or knew of me, they were kind of trash. Just look back in the past. Okay? I came into this shit with education, where they don't have education. And it was evident that they lacked education. And so, not being a person to down people because they don't have education. Well, I will kind of now. But back in the past, no, I was trying to get everybody to come on board. But now, accomplishing all that I did with my education, and they did not accomplish the same, and they can't. See, you have to understand, they can't do it. They can't. You can't do it unless you have the prior credentials. So if they have a GED, they could do it, right? That's the first step. But if they don't have that, they can't do it. It's as simple as that. So that's why, I mean, I could build a life that don't involve them, because I'm doing something that they cannot do. You cannot really go to an accredited university and graduate if you don't have a high school diploma or a GED or something, or a high school equivalent. So if you don't have an equivalent, then how can you go through the process of life, the collegiate process? You can't. So since that's the pathway that I took and they can't do it, I mean, I never understood why it was a problem. But I guess they just wanted to make problems. So I solve problems. I love solving problems because I can free myself. I can move around from state to state, all that being outside, and I still ended up in goddamn Hollywood, Florida, because I knew how to invest my coins to get me to a destination. That even if I had to start all the way over the whole life, that's great. Because these people here, they don't know me. They don't know me like they know me in Texas, where I'm born and raised. So I can take the whole last 40 years and bring that whole 40 years here to Florida and have a brand new life. And that's my plan. That's my plan. So, whatever. I've got to do I've researched it, the domicile, to change my residency from Florida to Texas. From Texas to Florida. I'm gonna completely change my life. There's no need to go back to Texas. There's no need for me to live there. So I'm gonna make this official here. And therefore, anything that was based on Texas can just be erased if I'm a part of it, because I don't have nothing to do with it. I wonder if they can erase my degrees, though. That's what I've been thinking about. That might can, but that might be some type of federal offense. I don't know. Ramble on as I get ready for this podcast. It's an organic podcast, and you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna talk about being homeless. And the great thing about it, people that are not into homeless people, right? People that don't really are not here to uplift, motivate, and inspire the homeless population. That's great, because they do have a representative in the streets that's like them. So not saying that I represent them, because I really don't have to represent anyone, but if they needed a representative of someone who created pathways out, that might be me. So, and what it does, what people not fucking with homeless people does, it freed me up to find people that's actually willing to grow with somebody that they can see hands-on working day to day. You know, people that see my work ethic, that see the day-to-day process of what it takes. Then those people are willing to say, this person might be an asset, even if they're going through this type of obstacle or however they interpret it. Their interpretation of it, and their interpretation of it doesn't even matter in the grand scheme. I'm 41. I'm not 21. I'm not 31. I'm not 18. No shit like that. When I didn't know none of this kind of shit. But I'm 41. So I learned a lot, and most importantly, I learned how to become independent. I learned how to use my own mind, how to think, how to create my way out, how to solve problems, how to depend on myself, how to go into situations not needing people to do for me because I can do for myself what others cannot do for themselves. And so even though people might say, oh, she's begging for this, oh, she's begging for that. Well, what I'm going to do is in my podcast, I'm going to go back a little bit. And as I go back, I'm going to bring in the facts from the past and see how this is a cumulative life and a cumulative experience. And those experiences that others tried to sever, which I would have severed it too. But the thing is, see, the devil is tricky. The devil lives in a double-minded, in a lukewarm way. I don't live like that, so it's easy for me to cut some shit off and just move on from it because I don't live double-minded. But for those that live double-minded, I do have a lesson for them because I don't live that way. That's why my life can always move on. And my life is not about what they think about. Like, my life is an onion. My life is full of several goals, several aspirations, several dimensions, several layers, several levels, right? I'm involved in several industries, several careers. It's not just one, this or that. No, that's for them, okay? And that's why I knew I was different than them. And that's why it never, ever bothered me that people would say, oh, she needs to go there, she needs to do that. You're absolutely right, because I am a star, baby. And I'm a star in any arena that I am in. And I can get into arenas that they can't get into. And I can get into arenas that they couldn't have got into without my keys. And that's okay. Because for the long haul, people will have to sustain themselves through those same valleys, through those same territories. And that's the same for me. I don't have to go into someone else's territory. I can go into a territory where I built myself and then take root there because I already have established relationships and networks in certain cities that people don't know about because I built it silent because it's not their business. But if they want to make it their business, I can make it their business. So at 41, I'm ready to play. All those years, I didn't say nothing because I was getting the world trapped up in shit that they didn't know about. I wanted them to speak on shit that they did not know about. So for the next 40 years, all the people that they talked on can actually come on out and live a free life. That's simple. But anybody who want to go against me and some shit that I don't even think about them in my daily life. But since they want to make themselves a part of my thought, this is how I'm going to handle that. Since they want to force themselves a part of my thought that they're not generally or typically a part of, then I will have to design something for it. So even outside, I'm going to show how I did more in my life. I accomplished more milestones in my personal life than most people did that live indoors. They did not. They wasted their life. And I had a plan for them to waste it more. But I said, you know, what type of... That's not living with integrity. To watch people wasting their life and going, damn, I know they wasting their motherfucking life, but I don't give a motherfuck, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's how I be feeling. But I said, damn, I got to do something for some of these stupid ass motherfuckers. I'm gonna jump in and help these hoes with some shit because they lack education to found a life. They dumb as fuck, but they think they not. So let a motherfucker that think they dumb, that's wrapped up in some shit that everybody's watching it going, this is a dumbass motherfucker. Everybody's saying the same goddamn shit. And so, but if we ain't supposed to say it out loud, bitch, I'ma say this shit out motherfucking loud. Cause I'm not a passive aggressive ass bitch. That's just not who I am. Now, I was silent because I didn't know what the fuck was going on all those years. It's not good to speak when you don't know what is going on. So all you motherfuckers that speak on shit and you don't know what's going on, that's another sign that your ass is dumb. But that's for another conversation amongst the wise. Well, all right.